Hey everyone, thank you again for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 marketing mistakes that you are making in your business. And these are things that I'm kind of seeing a trend of what businesses, when they come to me, they're kind of at that point where, okay, I really need help. I've tried this on my own, it's not working. I need some help here. So I'm kind of seeing these trends happening with people who are kind of coming to me, my clients, and also people out in the industry. One thing I want to kind of touch on a little bit is, there's a lot of people out there that are saying, "Oh, I'm an expert in this and I'm an expert in that," and I think that is true to a certain point, but there's a lot of people that are out there where they created something like a course or a program or something, or they created a product and it worked well for them. And now they're calling themselves an expert, which maybe they are. Maybe they are an expert in that platform or that whatever it may be. But when you talk about who is an expert, who is someone you should trust, like, and know, that is going to give you the best information going forward, accurate data, stuff that works, all of that, great stuff. You got to look at someone that's been doing this for a while. When I look at people that I consider kind of a mentor or who I look up to, I'm looking at people that have done this for a long time, that they've been in the industry, even though the industry has completely evolved from what it used to be, they're still in this mix of, what I'm looking for, and they've been doing it for a while. I don't want someone that just popped up and said, "Hey, I did this for my own business and now I can help you to do it." That's not something that I'm going to look for. So I just want to point that out. So these are 5 marketing mistakes that I have seen, again, in the industry. I've been in this industry for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. So I've seen a lot. And they're just things that I want you to be aware of so you can stop doing them if you are doing them. And so it will help your business grow if you know what you should not be doing. So one thing that, the first thing that I kind of think of is not understanding your audience. So I have a download on this, and I will link it in the show notes. I do have a download on this. I have done videos on this. I've done podcasts on this. But if you don't understand who your customer avatar is, your target market, whatever you want to call it, your customer persona, whatever it is, if you don't understand who you're marketing to, you're not gonna get anywhere. You really aren't. Because if you don't understand what they want, what they need, what they want to hear, and how to connect with them, your marketing is just worthless. I mean, it's like throwing something on a ball on the wall and seeing, if you can hit the target. I mean, you're not gonna, if you close your eyes and you throw that ball, you're not gonna know, you're not gonna hit the target, right? So you need to truly understand who you're marketing to, and you need to meet them wherever they are. If they're on a social platform and you know that, for example, if they're on Facebook, and this is something that, they're really good on Facebook and they understand it, you need to meet them there. You need to show up there. You don't want to show up over on Snapchat or Instagram when they're only on Facebook. So you need to understand where to find them. So things to ask yourself. What age groups are you trying to reach? And this is, again, we have a worksheet. It's downloadable. It will really go into depth on this customer avatar. But you need to know, what age groups are you trying to reach? What's their average income? And why do you need to know that? Because you need to know how, is your product or service in the right range for them? I mean, if they're making $40,000 a year and you're selling a $3,000 program, that's not going to work, right? So you really need to understand their income, what their, spendable income on whatever it is you're selling. What are their common values? Are they business owners themselves? Are they just a consumer? You're going to talk to them a little bit different depending whom they are. Do they have pets? Do they have kids? Why? Because people love social media posts about pets and kids, especially pets. That market is huge if you're into that industry, but they also, just anyone likes to interact with those kinds of posts. So you need to figure out who these people are, where they hang out, and then you need to meet them there. Meet them on that platform. Another thing that we've kind of, sitting down writing this kind of things that we've seen are not sharing your story. You're not sharing your story. And this is where social media has evolved from, like, if you remember, maybe even when it first kind of came out, let's just say 7 years ago, 7 to 6 years ago, let's say that. When this kind of first came out, people were, if you looked at a business, it was more for connection and say making sure grandma could see you or your friends or whatever. Then businesses got a hold of these platforms, right? And they started to flood it with ads. You'd see like sale, there's a big sale, buy, Bath and Body Works, buy 3, get 1 free. I mean, we all know that song and dance. But it really evolved from selling to now connection. The algorithm wants you to connect. I mean, that is such a big statement. The algorithm wants connection. Okay. So if you're not sharing your story, if you're not sharing the whys of your business, why did you start your business? How did you become this business owner? Was it your great grandfather's business and it's been passed down and now you're running it as part of your legacy? And you got to share these things and really build that connection. Sharing your story is going to build that connection. People want that like, know, and trust factor. They want to buy from someone. They don't want to just buy something, just a product. They want to like those people. So you need to share your story. And it doesn't have to be all like sit down, do a video and sharing your story. You need to, over time, kind of leave tidbits here and there of why you started what you're doing. What's your true passion? I mean, if you're an insurance person, let's say you truly enjoy helping people figure out that crazy mess of insurance. And you started it because your mom did or your grandma or whatever it is. Share these things. People want to know this. This will build connection. This will grow your business. It will. I guarantee. If you're right now just kind of being a billboard and spewing out information, and then you start showing up, it will grow your business. I guarantee. And if not, call me because I will help you in other ways, but it will grow your business. So make sure you're finding that connection and you're really sharing those things. The other thing that we're seeing that a lot of my clients, when they come on board, we start doing a one-on-one. We do free 15-minute discovery calls. If anybody wants one of those, I would be happy to sign up, have anyone kind of chat with me about where your business is at, where it's going. I would love to do that. But a lot of people don't have a social media plan. And I've talked about this in other episodes, but a social media plan is going to keep you on track. It's going to keep you you're going to account for your actions. So I have a social media planner. I will link it in the show notes. It is easy to use. It's simple. But even if you don't want to sit down and plan out that much, even on a piece of paper, take a piece of paper, say week 1, here's what we're going to talk about. Week 2, here's what we're going to talk about. It can be that easy. I like to know exactly what I'm going to talk about. And I also like to the day, here's what I'm going to talk about today. I also have a content planner that you can download. It is it's 365 days done for you content. Like it will give you, all you got to do is change your name, put your business name in there. It's content that is highly interactive. It's great. I will also link that in the show notes, but, having that plan is going to keep you on track. If your goal is to get more followers, get more reach, get more customers off of social media, having that plan is what's going to do it for you. So make sure that you have that plan ready to go, and we have some great tools for you. If not, write it on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be fancy. Once it's done, keep it by your computer or wherever your desk space is so you can see it every day. And I tell everyone to don't feel like you have to sit down every single day and write a post. Batch it out. And I have another whole show, and I will link that in here, but there's a whole show on how to batch. You need to batch this stuff out. You don't need to sit down and do it every single day. Batch it out so it's done for the week. You don't have to worry about it. All right. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is not having an email list. An email list is something that when you start kind of getting into this marketing influencer world that I'm in, this is the first thing that every single one of them harps on all the time. Have a list. Who's on your list? What's your list? And that's for multiple reasons. The number one reason that everyone, and even myself, promotes email lists is because you don't own social media. So let's say tomorrow, Mr. Zuckerberg said, I'm going to turn off Facebook. I'm done. He won't, but let's say he did. And if you've been watching the news, he's been on He's been in some hot seats lately, talking about government and who's been showing what on political stuff. So he's in some trouble. He'll come out of it. It's fine. But anyways, if social media or if a platform that you really love goes away tomorrow, what do you have? You don't have your list because that's all stored in there, right? You could take screenshots of it if you wanted to and go from there, but you don't own your list. You don't own it. They own it. They own every single follower that you've paid for, every single follower you've worked so hard for. You don't own it. They do. So converting those followers into email subscribers, that's something you do own. That's something that's good data that you can download. You can keep that in your back pocket and you can talk directly to them and you can tailor that message so dead on to them that they're like, I want everything you're buying, right? So having that email list is kind of something that we really, really recommend, and really nurturing that email list as well. So signing up, we can talk a lot about email lists because there's so many new platforms, there's so many old platforms. Depending what you do, is kind of where depending what you do is who you're going to kind of search out for. Like, for example, ConvertKit's really good for bloggers. MailChimp is a really easy to use one that I tell a lot of my small businesses to start with. I'm actually looking to GetResponse. It's a newer platform. Actually, it's not super newer, but they have some new stuff that they've added. I'm looking into that for creating landing pages and funnels and all that great stuff. So there's a lot of them. So email lists are easy to come by and they're very easy to use. It doesn't have to be complicated. And the last thing that I see a lot of mistake are people making when it comes to marketing, the mistakes would be not using your data insights, not using that data. And when I say insights, I'm talking about if you're on social media, the back end of your social media. And that is like seeing who shared your links, who clicked on stuff. I mean, those insights they're there for you. They're there for you to read them. You need to start messing around with that and kind of figuring that out because your insights will say what worked and what didn't. And that's very important. So, and also, when you get into the email systems, you can kind of see the open rate, who's open, who's clicked through. That's going to tell you what's working and what's not. So those insights are really, really beneficial because it really, kind of guides your campaigns and your marketing. And that's something that if my clients come to me and they have an existing email list or campaign or social media site, I always go in the insights and just start digging around and saying, okay, what's working, what's not? Because every audience is different and every audience is going to react different. So get to know your insights. Just want to thank you guys for another great episode today. And I hope you tune in again soon, and I will see you later.